Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Yeah, let's check that weather. And Alana, woo, look at that drama behind you there.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
It's moody. Here we go with those storms. We talked about the potential for lingering moisture, and that has meant lingering storms. This is over Lake Powell. This is the state line boat ramp here, and we know that folks are out on the water, but we're watching as the area in and around Lake Powell sees a few storms with gusty winds, some small hail, and some heavy downpours. So Glen Canyon with active skies. A bulk of the Beehive State, just gorgeous today. It is really pretty. So we zoom in down south where we are seeing a few cells. That includes this gnarly little band here, and that's going to put down some decent moisture, some lightning there starting to quiet in the southwestern corner of the state. Yet our flash flood warning holds on. Dry in eastern Utah. Yesterday that was a bit of a different story. Looking at that flash flood warning, it's for Washington County until 6:30. The storm itself is cleared, but the threat holds on for Laverkin, Tokerville, Ash Creek, and Ventura. The sun coming out, but it does not need to be raining in order to see flash flooding. Time-lapse video from our Black Desert Sky Cam shows that moisture when it comes to the clouds or satellite radar actually really illustrates the four corners, Lake Powell, and the storm development we've seen with the lingering moisture, which is above average for this time of year in the southern portion of the state. Our daytime heating adding to it, and that allows for the ingredients needed to form those thunderstorms. They're slow movers. Live view from Utah Lake, different story in other parts of the state. That's beautiful. And so are the temperatures. We're very close to average, even below it in some areas, including Salt Lake, as we sit at 75. I would argue that is near perfect. 79 is our average high. Low 70s in Cache Valley, 75 in Provo, 70s and 80s on the eastern side of the state. We made it to 91 in St. George, but temperatures are going to cool in southern Utah. We'll also see the cooling trend tonight, this evening, along the Wasatch Front, 70s turning to 60s, mostly clear and dry in northern Utah by ABC4 News at 10:65. Precipitation potential, it upticks tomorrow, though. Wet weather returns. Not just for extreme southern Utah, south central Utah really gets hit here, but we're going to watch that moisture extend all the way up to Castle Country and even the Basin. Futurecast walks you through the timing of the storms. We do, even later tonight, have the chance of some wet weather. That includes by ABC4 News at 10. Here we are into tomorrow afternoon. Midweek moisture surge hits south central Utah, the eastern side of the state, and we watch those storms really blossom. They're over I-15 by tomorrow evening in Beaver County, as well as Iron County and Washington County. We're going to stay pretty active even by 10 p.m. We watch as that moisture pushes further north into Thursday, so central Utah gets the chance of some storms. That includes counties like Joab County, possibly even Utah County. We see Castle Country, the I-70 corridor pretty active. That moisture does want to push towards the Wasatch Front, and we have a slight chance there on Friday to see storms here, but dry until then. These storms are interesting. The marginal risk for our excessive rainfall threat, they are slow movers. So they're putting down heavy downpours in one area. That increases flash flooding. So flash flooding potential is elevated tomorrow, possible in and around the Mighty Five, probable for Red Cliffs, Snow Canyon, and Zion National Park. So southwestern Utah could see some strong storms and flash flood warnings yet again. As we look at the upper level futurecast, it shows this upper level low that moves inland tonight. It's going to keep us unsettled. The large trough off the west, those thunderstorms and the thunderstorm potential pushes into central Utah and eventually northern Utah. Heading into the weekend, we hold on to the chance of storms. High pressure wants to take over, but it won't get the chance until early next week. Our warming trend will continue as we get through the next several days and into your weekend. 70s for tomorrow, average at 79, low 80s expected there in Provo, 70s and 80s on eastern Utah, the southern half of the state with the storms. These are going to be soakers, so very similar to what we saw yesterday. We will deal with again tomorrow, 87 in St. George, backing off of those temperatures. As we look at the next 7 days here in St. George, scattered storms tomorrow, isolated storms Thursday, drier Friday as temperatures hit the 90s and then eventually the triple digits yet again. The Wasatch Front, 70s to 80s to isolated storms on Friday. Our warming trend gets us to the low 90s. More active skies in southern Utah this week than the north. But tomorrow, those storms will be slow movers and flash flooding potential is there. You have been forewarned.
Gotta be careful out there.
Yeah.
Okay.